Hello and welcome to Plumeria Play. Today in The Sims 4, we are going to be building a micro home using only the base game and the Book Nook kit, except we have to try to use every single item from the Book Nook kit. While we are going to just be using base game and the Book Nook kit, I am going to build it in the world that comes with the high school years expansion pack because I want to go for like a cabin in the woods vibe, and there's not really a place in base game that feels that way. But this lot right here, it's the little 20 by 21, I think is perfect. First of all, we'll be turning this into a tiny home, and we've only got 32 tiles to work with, so let's see what we can come up with. I think we're going to be going with a shape kind of like this. I want to do like a front porch situation, but we can't actually use the tile, so we're gonna just have to place down like a wood floor right here. Let's pop a roof on this and see if we can make it work. I'm gonna be doing my same little tricky chimney move that I've done on a few of the other ones before. We're gonna just be using half walls, and we're not gonna be using the space, so while technically it is a little cheaty, it's really not that cheaty. But to do this, we're gonna draw 3 of the 4 walls, and then on the ground, we're gonna draw the 4th wall and add it up here, and that's gonna make it not register this is a room. But so now we've got ourselves a little chimney. I wanna go for very like cozy cottage vibes, so I feel like it's necessary to have a chimney almost. Okay, I'm thinking something like this will work just fine. Before we really get started, let's go ahead and pull out the items from the Book Nook kit so we know what we have to work with. There's nothing in doors or windows or anything in the build mode portion of this, so let's head into buy mode. I think our biggest issue with this is going to be the fact that there's 2 different couches and 1 chair. So we're going to have a lot of furniture to fit in. But here are all the items that we have to fit. I do feel like we have to count each different one of these as their own piece. So there they all are right there. And we've got everything else laid out. So other than the bookshelves and the couches, I don't think the rest will be all that terribly difficult to fit in. But I just don't really know in the 32 tile space how we fit in all of the bookshelves and all of the couches, but we will try our best to see if we can do it. But let's focus on the exterior really quickly. We do want to go with like a cottage vibe. We don't really have any columns that lean into that. Maybe this brown one does. What about doors? Door-wise, I almost feel like this would be the best one. It's just hard to justify the use of a double door. But let's see if we can make it work. For the outside, I'd love to get like a pretty stone, but we don't really have a pretty stone that comes with base game. So that just might not be a possibility. Maybe this kind of leans into like a bit of a cabin look. I would want more cottage, but we'd almost have to have like cottage living or something to be able to make that work. So maybe we'll do that. And then on the fireplace area, we can do this pretty stone. And if you see my shirt moving, Apollo is right here in my lap, so he's giving me biscuits. Maybe for siding, it would be better to just go for like a nice brown like that. Like, let's just go full cabin. Let's commit to the cabin bit. I feel like that fits the style of this lot well as well, so maybe that is better. I don't hate that at all. This column just needs to be changed. Maybe this darker brown right here will work. I think that's fine. And I like this floor, but I feel like it needs to be running long ways. We can lift this up on a platform, but the rest has to stay. So I'm thinking it'd be better to just leave it flat against the ground. And as far as windows, let's sort by base game and dark brown and see if we can find any that will work. I almost feel like that would be best. Like, it's a bit of a different wood tone, but I think in a way that kind of works. I'm gonna just go ahead and place a couple windows down, and then we'll just have to readjust as we figure out what our floor plan's gonna be. I just need like a little window for right here that matches this one. Oh, maybe we could do these instead. Okay, that's also an option. That's very rustic. And then let's get a light for outside as well. I feel like this like coppery color is perfect. And let's change our roof to be a bit of a darker texture and also get like a brown trim just to keep up with our cabin vibe that we've got going on. I feel like if we go brown roof, it'll be too brown. So maybe we'll go with this kind of weathered looking metal roof. I honestly feel like that works so well. And then I want to add a real fireplace in. So if we're able to add one, then it can look like it's working for real. Because if you end up with a real fireplace in here, this will actually puff some smoke out of it. So I'm actually really loving that so far on the exterior. Let's work on our interior and see if we can fit our Book Nook kit items plus a fully functional house. This is gonna be rough. For starters, let's find a place for our bathroom. What if we actually stuck our bathroom here in the center like this, and then we can just scoot the windows to be where they need to be even? Maybe this window doesn't get to go here anymore. We could also use these instead. That might be a better option, to do one there and then like a little double window moment right here. I don't think that looks terrible from the back. It's not great, but I think it will work. So my first thought is over here would be a good little nook for the bedroom. Worst case scenario, we can go single bed. I'm gonna try my best to do a double bed, but I feel like realistically speaking, a single bed might be the best that we are able to do. I'm thinking we'll do this one. Maybe we'll do like this kind of rustic color. I feel like we could even put a wall right here and have like a whole bedroom bathroom area. And then this teeny tiny little space will be like living and kitchen. For now, let's run with it. I'm gonna get some saucer lights just so we can see what we're doing. My next thought is that right here would be a great spot for a kitchen. What's like the best rustic counters that we have in base game? None of them. None of these are rustic. Maybe this one is the best though. I would also love to be able to use like this fridge and maybe like the rustic looking stove, this one. I just feel like that fits, you know? Maybe we can wrap our kitchen around, have a sink right here. We could even do like this sink and just make this a corner cabinet because we are not gonna be able to have a sink in the bathroom. And then we could even fit in a little trash can right here off to the side. Maybe the barrel is the most appropriate. I just feel like we're wasting space. Maybe we just need to do like a straight across kitchen and this just needs to be the flat one. That way maybe we can use the other wall for some bookshelf space, or we can even just put a normal sink right here. I don't mind not having an indoor trash can. We can just do an only exterior trash can if we need to. But let's see about trying to fit in some of this stuff. My initial reaction is to stick this here in one of these little nooks. And I feel like right there under that window is a perfect little reading nook. Okay, and then as far as the bookshelves go, maybe we can use that other nook for those. At least for some of them. I don't think we're gonna be able to fit all of them, unfortunately. Nope. Okay, well we can fit this many. We could also put those like here. Wait, that's not a bad option. I think your sim should be able to still walk through right there. I almost like the idea of this being a smaller bookshelf. Like they've worked on filling this one out and it's almost full, but this one's not quite gotten to be filled out yet. You can also use this as a little nightside stand. We're just gonna have to scooch it into the wall just a little bit, but I think that's okay. Now, here's where it's gonna get a little tricky. Maybe we can't have a kitchen. I mean, we have to have something, but if we're gonna fit this in here, then we're not gonna be able to have a fully functional kitchen. It's just not possible. There's really nowhere else for that couch to go. And then we have all of these items that I think we can just kind of sneak into the shelves of the bookcases with pretty much no problem at all. You can add the rug in here and then we'll put this on the coffee table. I'm thinking the sim loves to read at nighttime, so they probably have this cute little lamp by their bedside table plus the stack of books that they're like currently reading. We've got most of the other clutter here in the shelves of the bookcase. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. And then over on top of this bookcase, we've got this thing, as well as the floating shelf. I just kind of all placed it down so it looked like a stack of books sitting sideways. I'm thinking we actually move this rug to the bedroom. I think that works really well. Then for this lamp, I want to kind of try to place it behind the couch like that, I think. And then as far as this coffee table goes, maybe we'll just center it within the room. And then that has another small bookshelf as well as the little coffee table with the book and the coffee on top. And I think that's all the Book Nook items used, but let's double check. Oh no, the chair. I haven't used the chair. Oh no. Where would the chair go? Maybe in this corner? That's kind of weird. No, okay, maybe in the room. Maybe like right here in this corner, and we'll just scoot the door to be like in this corner. I'm gonna have to bring Teddy here to play test this. And I do think we'll use this rug again in this room as well. I feel like this is like a reader's retreat, so I don't feel like they'd have a TV or anything in the house. But why don't we go ahead and see if we can find some wallpaper for the walls? I was thinking this would be perfect, but it's not base game. I forgot to sort. That's a shame. I want to go for something a little more old school. This is an old cottage and they've started working on renovations, but they've not made it very far. So like they've changed out the furniture to be a little bit more modern, but they've still got this old style bed. They've still got a lot of old style wallpapers and things like that. That's how I view it, at least. Maybe we can go with like this. Honestly, I kind of love that. And then here's the pictures on the wall. I meant to move those and change those. Let's maybe go with just those. We've kind of got a green theme going on mostly. Although that being said, maybe we should change to more of a green wallpaper, or even just more of like a neutral color. Maybe we'll go like light neutral in here and then darker neutral out here. Oh no, maybe we go dark neutral everywhere. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that fits the aesthetic that we're going for pretty well. Then why don't we also change out our saucer lights in the living room and the bedroom? Like an old style chandelier could be cool. I love the idea of like this. And that gives off like a nice warm glow instead of the bright white like the saucer gives off. I would love to go to a place like this and read, like just to be stuck inside. I'm stuck relatively speaking, because like I would love to come read here with these huge bookshelves and the cozy lighting and everything. Yes, sign me up. And then why don't we change this chair to be like this cream with that green pillow? I think that's actually perfect. Okay, and now for our bathroom space. I had selected this tile originally, but I'm wondering if we can maybe do better. I feel like let's kind of stick with that warm brown theme and go with like a black tile, and this is the wallpaper. So I'm gonna just plop our toilet there and maybe like a darker colored shower right here. And then let's just get a few little bathroom decorations. We're not gonna be able to do anything too much because otherwise your Sims won't be able to walk in here anymore. We've got some bare minimum decorations in, and then what I'm thinking we do now is almost go with like an outdoor kitchen to make this a little bit more functional. So maybe instead of the fences, we'll get some half walls, which I can admit is a little bit odd, but if we're gonna put a little kitchen out here, it'd be better to have it be a little bit more covered. Since we're doing it outside, we can kind of use this more like utility looking one. And that means we'll be able to fit a sink. A little fridge would be nice, like a little outdoor fridge. Let's go with the one from the event. And then we can kind of slip it in right here, where from the front you won't even be able to see that it's there. So it's like a full kitchen there on the porch, but it's kind of a secret kitchen. And then your Sims can use this space to prep. They'll have a sink outside. And then I think that's gonna be our interior done. So let's do some landscaping. I can tell you right now we're gonna be using a lot of debug landscaping. For starters though, I do wanna get like a nice little path. I'm thinking we'll kind of do like a very windy path like this. I almost wanna use like a darker stone. Yeah, like this one with a little more warmth to it. I think that's nice. And we're gonna definitely be going with more of an overgrown look. So let's start by grabbing maybe this. I feel like this you can even kind of patch it around the lot in a few places. So I think that's a good base. And then we need to get some more like wild looking bushes and stuff instead of like the more polished ones. So I'm thinking we'll go with like these. We can just kind of dot those around. I feel like the less structured it is, the better. And then maybe like even some of these ferns or something could be nice. Just things that stick out a little bit more, if that makes sense. And I feel like we can do sunflowers, but it needs to be like these, where they're a little more stuck in the air. They just look a little more like weeds than they do flowers. Now that I feel like that's looking pretty nice, what we're gonna do is go into debug and try to find a set of big trees so we can really make this lot look like a part of the world around it. So we're gonna be using a lot of these more pine looking trees, I guess you could say. I think that's looking really good and overgrown so far. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is come through and add in just like a few little rocks. I feel like that will just help bring everything together a little bit more. Last but not least, we're gonna be grabbing an outdoor trash can and mailbox. I'm gonna just kind of stick them here up front. They are a little bit under this tree, so maybe we'll scooch that over just a little bit, kind of like that. The last thing we need to do is just add a little bit of terrain paint in. And I think with that being said, that is our build done. So it is perfectly tucked into this cute little lot right here. Just for a quick tour, not that you really need one. We have an outdoor kitchen out here with our sink. And then in here we have a small little living room reading space, and then our bedroom with all the things from the Book Nook kit included. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on the gallery for you if you're interested in downloading it. I'm gonna just be calling this the Book Lovers Cabin, and I do use hashtag #PlumeriaPlay to give you an easier time finding it. Let me know if I missed any of the Book Nook kit items. Also, drop in the comments what kit you'd like to see done next, and let me know what you think of this build. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Also, if you stayed until the very end, Apollo's here in my lap. He literally grew twice his size while he was at the Borders, so I'm super sad about that, but he's still my sweet baby angel. Bye!